Welcome back to the county seat. We're just too excited about this topic to actually sit through an entire break. So we're kind of jumping back into it real quickly. If you're going to a mail-in ballot system, I know that there are going to be concerns, and there are also, so let's divide this next few minutes into pros and cons. Con number one, voter fraud. You can't prove that the person's the person that's voting. You don't know they pulled the trigger. They could have moved. You could be getting votes out of a cemetery. Pretty soon people will think we're in Chicago. So how do you address that?
Well, the process of a ballot, you have two envelopes. You have the white envelope with the ballot, the instructions, and a blue envelope inside the white envelope. You receive that at your home. Once you fill out your ballot and follow the instructions, you put that inside the blue envelope. The blue envelope has an extra large flap that you sign an affidavit on, and then that flap is sealed over top of that signature and that affidavit. And then you mail it back to us. So once it gets to our clerk's office, we verify that you are who you say you are, the signature matches, the address is correct, any of that information. If none of that matches or we're a little questionable about it, we call you up or do everything in our power to get hold of you to say, this doesn't look right. Could you tell us what's going on, and maybe come down to the clerk's office and help us verify that this is really you. You know, I don't see that there can be a lot of fraud in this process because of all the things that we do.
Okay, another question. There might be a great concern on some is saying, if I mail this in and my signature's on it, they're going to be able to see who I voted for.
No. The ballot, we don't even separate the ballot from the envelope or even look inside the envelope until at a later time, which will be election day. We will then separate the ballot from the envelope, and there's like 4 or 5 people in the room. Ballot goes over here, envelopes go over here. There's not enough time to keep processing those ballots to identify one ballot from one envelope.
When you get the mail-in ballots, and you talked about the process, you're going to separate the envelopes, make sure that nobody knows who voted for what, but you've verified everything. How do you process those ballots?
Well, we're going to stick them in a ballot press to flatten them out so that they'll go through our machine to read the ballot. We test those machines a long time in advance. We actually run a test for the public so anybody can come and watch us process that. We run blank ballots through, fully marked ballots through, partial ballots marked through, so that they know that we know that they can read any scenario.
All right, so what are some of the pros of this? I mean, from a party standpoint, Tom?
Well, first of all, we've talked about the voter turnout. You know, hopefully we can increase that. The second thing is how many times have you been sitting there in the voter box and you're looking down and you have 2 names on there and you don't have any idea who they are, or you can't remember who they are, you can't remember what their positions are. You know, the nice thing about the mail-in voting is you get that a couple weeks before the election. You know, even myself, I went back to the internet and refreshed myself on where the candidates stood on the issues before I made my choice. And you know, I actually mailed mine in yesterday. And so you have a more informed voter, and hopefully more of them. And so, you know, it'll help that way.
What do you do about the 11th hour surprise? All of a sudden you find out that Senator Who's bucket actually is, you know, on the take from the Russian fishing fleet or something like that, and that, you know, those last minute surprises. Oops, I already sent my ballot in. You know, does that come up as an issue?
Well, you know, surprisingly enough, last election we had such a demand for early voting, and so we had to man them. And what did we do? 2 weeks?
We do. It's
beforehand, and so it's going on right now. And so you do take that chance that maybe something happens, but in the past that hasn't been a concern to most people. They want the convenience of early voting at my convenience, so this provides that to them.
Well, in addition, the military ballots, the overseas ballots have always been mailed out early.
If somebody really wants to come in and come to the county clerk's office and fill out their ballot, can they do it?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, we'll be right back with more of our topic on the entire mail-in ballot election in Duchesne County, and we'll be back in just a minute.
At the Prehistoric Museum, USU Eastern, there's no time like the past. Interpretive exhibits tell a tale of long ago. Observation labs allow visitors to witness the processes of preparation and curation and speak one-on-one with the preparators. Dinosaurs, Ice Age, and archaeology allow you to experience life 500 million years in the making. What happens in Utah's Castle Country stays with you.
Check out these pictures from my vacation.
Where did you go again?
Garfield County, you know, like Bryce Canyon, Devil's Rock Garden,
Where's that?
Capitol Reef, Kodachrome Basin, Highway 12.
Wait a minute, I wanted to see more.
A picture may be worth 1,000 words, but there's nothing like experiencing the real thing firsthand. Gather your family and see the world's largest concentration of scenic attractions. Garfield County, Utah. Find the ultimate adventure.
Have you ever wanted to go on a vacation to Mars? What about a visit to the Old West? Impossible, right? Well, forget what you think is real. In southern Utah's Kane County, other worlds are just an ATV ride away. The Old West lives on in every sunset. From the downtown streets of Little Hollywood to the vistas that have inspired the world. Never find yourself closer to home and yet farther than you've ever been. Southern Utah's Kane County, where anywhere is possible.
In San Rafael Country, you'll discover more adventure and excitement than you can imagine. And it's only 2 hours from the Wasatch Front. Find gorges that descend thousands of feet, trails that go on forever, and the solitude of finding a place all your own. Emery County and the San Rafael Swell. We're closer than you think.